Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Bobby, and today we're going to go through some Am I the Asshole stories and cap the episode off with a petty revenge. So, if that sounds like something that you want to continue on and listen to, please go ahead and settle in, drop a like on this video, and make sure you're subscribed so you can see when I post. Anyway, let's get right into it. Posted in r/am I the asshole by user Merc35802. Would I be the asshole for asking a family to remove their child's death memorial from my property? I recently purchased a home on a country road. 5 years ago, some drunk local teenagers wrapped their car around a tree on the property and one died. Their family created a roadside memorial with a 4-foot cross and wooden sign. People come a few times a year and place flowers, notes, etc. The memorial is on my property in front of the tree they hit, about 10 feet from the road. I don't want to see this memorial every day. It's depressing and reminds me that a tragedy happened here, which I don't need. I'm trying to get over some stuff. I want this home to be a fresh, clean start. But I'm also sensitive to the kid's family and friends' feelings. Would I be the asshole if I ask the family to take down the memorial? Northern Tropic AZ says plant a hedge around it between it and your house so you don't have to look at it. Not the asshole. It would mess with my head too. You'll feel terrible if you pull it down though. OP replies and says it's not a bad idea. Thanks, and you are right. Perfect Pomelo 3 says, better yet, plant a hedge going across your property after the public easement to keep away strangers from trespassing on your property. OK Recognition 9876 says instead of a hedge, let them know how you feel about it. Ask if they'd be willing to help you plant a lilac, peony, or some other flowering bush in its place. This will help everyone to be able to see something beautiful every day instead of the sadness. I think that's a cute idea. I think that OP is not an asshole. OP is clearly sensitive to the family's tragedy and does not want to do something to further hurt them. But again, it is OP's property. So the fact that this person is willing to reach out and come to a compromise that doesn't hurt either party makes me believe that this person is not an asshole and is instead the opposite of an asshole at heart. Posted in r/AITAH by user OK_peach_6482. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's ex-wife I won't babysit her child? I was pretty sure I wasn't the asshole, but now I'm a bit confused. My boyfriend, 28 male, and I, 27 female, have been together for a while now. He has a daughter, and I absolutely love her. She is my best little buddy. This is not who the post is about. My boyfriend's ex wife, 27 female, got pregnant with another man's, 19 male, baby about 2 or 3 months into them getting married. I have nothing against this baby. I've never met her, and I know her situation is not her fault. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago. My boyfriend's ex wife does not speak to me, ever. She's never said hello and has never tried to meet me until now. She reached out to me and asked if we could watch her daughter for a week. This week, we would also have the daughter that my boyfriend and her share. A little surprised by the request, I asked her why, as she has never asked us to do this before. She said that it is her and her boyfriend, who is the teenager she had an affair with, want to go on a vacation to celebrate their anniversary. I was a little shocked at the request. I asked her if she had spoken to my boyfriend about it and asked why she bypassed him and went right to asking me. She said she already asked him and he immediately said no. I told her, well, there's your answer. She was furious. She said that I have no reason to have anything against her, and my boyfriend should be over it by now. She also called us bitter assholes and said that there is no reason we should take our frustrations out on a child, which I didn't think we did. I'm always willing to take care of my boyfriend's daughter. I'm not sure why my boyfriend and I should be expected to take care of anyone else's child. The second child is not my boyfriend's. My boyfriend also has never met this child. To me and him, it seems like too big of a request. My boyfriend's parents say we should do it for the sake of my boyfriend's daughter so they can spend more time together. They said we were being too harsh by saying no immediately. I really don't think we're in the wrong, but his parents have me second guessing it. Am I the asshole? Before we get into the comments, I'm just going to say no. You're not the asshole. This woman is completely off her fucking gourd if she thinks that you're just going to watch her affair baby that you've never met. It's crazy. But let's get into the comments and see what's happening down there. A certain midscore thought 531 says, not the asshole. She just wants a free babysitter so that she can enjoy a week with her groomed prey. I mean, new boyfriend. True, this is a teenager that is her boyfriend. She's 27, and I guess the guy is 19. So that is another point of maybe a red flag. Beardman Michael says, absolutely. Classic example of an adult trying to avoid their adult responsibilities. Username that is just a bunch of random letters says, not the asshole. I would never spend a whole week looking after a child I've never met. I would also let her know that he is done with it. You both don't care about her stupid child, and he's so over it that she doesn't matter at all. All right, that would be a little bit of a harsh thing to say, calling the child stupid. It's not the child's fault. So get a grip, random letter user. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of people in the comments saying that the mom is entitled and it's crazy to expect your ex to watch your own kid. It is. It's crazy to expect your ex and your ex's girlfriend to watch the baby that you had with another person while you were married to that said ex. That's bananas to me. Aspen9999 says, and suggest her boyfriend move all communications through a parenting text app because those do become evidence in any child custody case. Good tip. Somebody said, best to use our Family Wizard app for correspondence when the ex is so high conflict. Yeah, what do you guys think of this? I think it's clear what I think about this. OP is not the asshole, and in fact, the ex-wife is a complete dickhead in this instance. Posted in r/AITAH by user sad midscore situation midscore 5363. Am I the asshole for sleeping with my frenemy on my wedding day? For reference, this happened about 5 years ago, but I was confronted about it recently. I am a very boring person, and this was literally the only dramatic thing that has ever happened to me in my life. 6 years ago, my fiance proposed to me. I was thrilled. We planned a beautiful, intimate wedding. I've always gotten along with his friends and family. His mother adores me. We've disagreed, but we didn't argue. We found ways to resolve our problems. Inside and out, we were a great couple. I never thought he would literally leave me at the altar. Our families, friends, and even the officiator kept trying to reassure me, but almost 2 hours after the ceremony was supposed to start, I got a call saying he got cold feet and didn't want to get married. He wanted to get more out of life before being tied down. I did some things I'm not proud of. I begged my mom to get me out of the dress, and I tore the stupid thing. I left the wedding after everyone kept looking at me with pitying eyes. I fended off a lot of calls from friends and family telling them I was fine and didn't want to talk. Here's the thing I was called an asshole for. I have a frenemy. We've known each other since middle school. He's always been a class clown bully. I was not attractive growing up, and he would jokingly flirt with me and try to annoy me as much as possible. He never really grew out of either of those things. So when he called to check up on me, or really to rub it in my face that I was dating a loser who dumped me on my wedding day, he asked if I wanted to hook up with him. I said yes, because my life was ruined anyway, and what could be worse? He picked me up and we slept together. He's the second person I'd been with, the first being my fiance. It wasn't religious. I just saw it as special and that we were each other's first and only. My fiance evidently didn't feel the same. I blocked my fiance, as did the rest of my family. His mom profusely apologized and said his late father would never have approved of what he did. My now ex fiance contacted me recently. He wanted closure, he said. He apologized for ghosting me, but he immediately said that it didn't justify me sleeping with someone else the night of our wedding. I told him it wasn't a healthy thing to do, but I've gotten comments from his friends that I acted badly and they would have left me too. I don't even know what I did wrong. Am I the asshole? Okay, he abandoned you at the altar. So at that point, he has no say in what you do from then on. Is it a great thing that you did? Probably not. Probably not great for your mental health, but it's your decision to make and not his. But let's see what the comments section says. Aussie underscore nub quoted, but he immediately said that it didn't justify me sleeping with someone else the night of our wedding. And says, who gives a fuck what he thinks? That's what I'm saying, guys. Who gives a fuck what he thinks? Bus Alternative 1827 says it wasn't the night of their wedding. Pretty sure weddings are parties where you get married and no one got married. Also, who the fuck cares to be justified by a coward? Somebody else weighs in, says that this is not a real story. Sharks for Arms says, lol, he bailed on her because he wanted to sleep with more women before being tied down. And then he gets pissed because she beat him to it. And then we have an incel in the chat here that says, when are dudes going to realize it is infinitely easier for a woman to sleep with a man versus the other way? The amount of I want more experiences, open marriage, one night stand, etc. post here for men where it backfires because their female partners always succeed and they don't is just ridiculous. Lady Morgana01 says getting left at the altar is justification for all sorts of things. The ex should be glad she went with the hookup instead of some other more criminal options. Calamity Jane 101 says, or one of his friends. Cheshire underscore cat 7 says, or one of his relatives. Nowhere underscore near underscore score Berlin says, yep, 100% not the asshole. The guy didn't show up to your wedding and said he needed more time to live his life. Anything that happened after he sent that text is not his business. And I agree. Like I said, the minute he decided not to show up to your wedding is the moment he relinquished any right to give a fuck about what you did or do in the future. Hosted in r/pettyrevenge by user ZZZ midscore top. Idiot tries to follow me home because I wouldn't fix his truck for practically free, so I took the scenic route. Don't worry, I called a rescue. He's a very entitled veteran and supposedly a Purple Heart one. He's also a very racist, MAGA type dumbass. One of the reasons my boss will not have him as a customer during business hours, but will work on his truck after hours with no one else around. The usual MO is he tries to fix something on his truck and fucks it up and then expects everyone else to fix it for really cheap, using his veteran status as a guilt trip because he already had done half the work himself. This time he, quote, fixed his brakes and somehow no longer had rear brakes. His truck is 2 bolt failures away from a junkyard. My boss is out of town, so I was in charge for the week with strict instructions to not help him while he's out. He showed up at the shop today demanding I fix his truck. I'd already closed the building up and was ready to leave. I told him when G gets back, he'll fix your truck. He didn't like that answer. He said something I picked up on to be a racist remark and told him to fuck off till G gets back. He gets pissed and grabs a piece of wood and throws it into the desert. I start my drive home, and a second or two later, I notice his truck behind me and matching my lane changes. I live 40 miles away, so I knew he wouldn't keep up with me in the hills, and I didn't want to kill him by outpacing him. So I called my friend who's only about 9 to 10 miles in the middle of the desert, and I told him I was going to swing by because I think I'm being followed, and I was going to take the scenic route. He told me he was going to meet me at the halfway, and if he had to, he would scare him off. The scenic route is 7 miles of rough desert road that will destroy any truck without long travel suspension, and a lot of locals use it to test and tune their desert off-roaders. I get to the turnoff into the trail and I see his headlights turn in behind me. At that point, I shut my lights off and turn on my desert headlights and floor it. I made sure to lure him into the first set of jumps. Right before the jumps, I kicked up a bunch of dust and turned off all the lights and waited at the other end. I see his headlights again, and I could tell he cleared the first jump, but I could hardly see his headlights shake going down, which is a sign of suspension failure from hitting the ground hard. I turned on all my lights so he could see where I was as I left and proceeded to my friend's location. He was waiting for me with his brother and a big shit eating grin. He told me he saw me about a mile away because of the lights, but couldn't see the other truck behind, and he just said, "Looks like he must have missed the first jump. I'm going to call rescue." We hung out another few minutes and took a different trail that led me to the highway home. Later in the evening, I get a call that he was fine, but his truck was literally bent at the cab and bed from the 5 foot drop he experienced. He said he got lost going home. I plan on calling G in the morning and letting him know that I'm having that dumbass trespass from the shop for that stunt. Update: G has been contacted. He's taking my side on this and he's no longer welcome at the shop. He's been formally trespassed by the sheriffs, and I also saw the truck. It's literally bent with the bed and the cab pressed into each other at another shop. Panacea Stark says, quotes, he gets pissed and grabs a piece of wood and throws it in the desert. It says, I don't know why. Imagining this display of impotent rage is so funny, but it is. OP replies, more common out here than you think. Lol. Even I do it on a bad day. We used to have a bender robot made out of old mufflers, and one of the techs got really frustrated one day and punched it. Vanviator says, are you by chance near Barstow? That just sounds like something that would happen there. I was there for 6-ish months, and it was wild what they and the surrounding small towns got up to. My host had a place right along the river, and we'd sit out back and watch the weekly helicopter search while cruising the Barstow Rants and Raves page. It was cheap entertainment and a real hoot when you're high or on a fire in the desert. And OP says, closer to Dolan Springs. I got a lot of fun Barstow Victorville stories when I was out there, too. Tweakers are a real interesting species in Victorville. There needs to be National Geographic research on them. And Spatzel Spiff says, yes, it does sound like something that would happen somewhere around Barstow at the edge of the desert. If you don't get that reference, it's from Fear and Loathing. Yeah, so I think that is, I think the revenge fits the crime. OP didn't do anything to the guy. The guy followed OP into the desert and fucked up his own truck. So, revenge in this case is OP having clean hands and satisfaction of watching this asshole's truck get bent in half. And that's all the time that we have for today. Let me know what you think of these stories down below in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in hearing your reactions. While you're here, please go ahead and drop a like on this video. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all next time. Bye.